Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Aleeza Ben Shalom. This is Sarah Zoldan, who still has the name Aleeza Ben Shalom at the bottom of her screen. She's going to change that because she logs in as me. Anyway, we are so happy to have you here with us tonight. Our goal, as always, is to help you get over your hurdles and under the chuppah. And tonight we're talking about the quickest way to get married is to stop dating. Are you kidding me, Aleeza? That's going to get me there faster. So the answer is sometimes yes. And the question is, if I'm not dating, how is that going to actually get me there faster? So I'm going to explain that. And I'm going to use the help actually of my book, which is called Get Real, Get Married. This is the first book that I wrote and I love it. This is like my baby. I had this book under my wings for a year and a half, writing and editing line by line, word by word, everything with my editor. It taught me a lot about my own writing. And in here, actually, chapter 9 is called The Quickest Way to Get Married, Stop Dating, which is how we got the title of the webinar. But I want to explain in full what this means, because a lot of people are like, I don't fully buy into this concept. So the subtitle that we chose for tonight is Why Taking a Dating Break Will Actually Get You to the Chuppah Faster. So that's what I want to focus on. And I am going to pull out the book just to kind of give you a little taste of what I'm talking about and what I like, the mindset that I believe in. So this is on, if anybody has the book and you're like, I've got the book, page 33, you can follow along with me for a moment. So why should you stop dating? What are a few reasons that you should stop dating? Number one, you might need to stop dating somebody else so that you could date yourself. You might need to get to know yourself better. You might need to take a break. Now you're like, oh, but I know myself. Yes, you do. But in the last 5 years, you changed and there's a new you. And we just need to adjust your vision to the new you to make sure that you're in line with yourself and you're really going for what you want. How many times have you gone for what you thought you wanted only to realize it's what you used to want, but it's not what you currently want? And then you're like, oh my gosh, I that was the old me and I didn't align the two. So it's faster if you stop dating, figure that part out, take time, and then you go about dating after that. Because otherwise, what's the other option? That you keep dating, you keep not doing the right thing, you keep messing up over and over and over again. That's going to delay you meeting your person. If you stop, the next person you meet could be your person because you figured it out and you put yourself in the right mindset and you're maybe starting to date a little bit differently. So that's one great reason why you might want to stop and why it might be faster. Another great reason might be that you might have some health issues or some medical issues or you, I don't know, had a problem, cracked a tooth, and now you need a replacement of something, right? And you chew a little bit funny when you go out to eat because you're like chewing on the one side, you can't chew on the other, and right? And you even maybe you talk a little funny because there's like a gap there, and you're playing with it, and you're right, and you're doing funny things. So you might need to go get that work done and then go date. And you're like, but no, but I could date through it. It's okay. Well, you might be able to date through it and it might be normal for you, or it might not look or feel normal to you. And it might be uncomfortable, or somebody else might pick up on it and they might be like, what's going on over there? And then they might not say anything. And then you might not really know what they're thinking. And then they dump you and you're like, but why? Everything's fine. And they're like, I don't know what's going on, and you're not all with it. But it could even be a medical thing. You need to have something removed, or I don't know, you need to have something fixed, or you need foot surgery or something that you've been putting off. You might have a laundry list of things that you're going to need to do, and we usually don't do them unless either A, we're motivated because we're uncomfortable or in pain, or B, because we just can't take it any longer and it finally became time. But sometimes we need to do that with dating. We need to pause dating, go do this thing, and then come back to dating. And it speeds up the process because I got it out of the way and now I can hyper focus on dating without worrying about this other thing, whatever this other thing is. What if you need a new job and you're like, it's fine, new job, new person, new life, new everything, game on. Well, it might not work for you because you might need to put it on pause, go get your new job, and then come into a relationship and feel good about being in a relationship. Or what if it's not about a job? What if it's that you need to move? You are just in the wrong home or in the wrong city or in the wrong country and you want to get out and you're like, oh, I need to do it. Okay, it's going to happen. No, I'll move and I'll date. It's like, it's fine. I can handle it. I can take it all on. But no, don't take it all on. Go on a dating pause. By the way, you know the rule about dating pauses and stopping dating. And it's like all of a sudden suggestions tend to come in when you do these things. it happens for people. So the world might tempt you with some things even when you go on pause. And if you're super tempted and something's so amazing, then you should either pause this other thing that you're doing and date this person, or pause this person and say, yeah, I'll be back to you in about 3 weeks once I'm done with this. Especially things like moving, large life transitions, job, moving, and marriage are some of the top three. We try not to do those things too close together. It's a little too much to handle. There's an extreme amount of stress. And if you know about couples who get engaged and then they get married and then they move into a new place and they start a new job and they're living in a new city, and you get it, everybody's head is totally spinning and it's a lot. So we don't want to combine too many things that just keep you from focusing on dating. And it's not so good. It's not super like you're not fully in a relationship because you're like half focused over. Oh, I gotta move. I forgot to pack. No. What did you say about that your dog? What's their name? You're like your brain's half focused on this thing that you want to do, and the other half is focused on this person that you're trying to date. So the reason that we say the quickest way to get married is to stop dating and ... fill in the blank. What is it? If you guys are here live with us, anybody, you're welcome to comment in the chat box. What is it? If you should stop dating, what should you be doing right now? Stop dating and do what? What is going to help you to get it out of the way, knock it off of your to-do list, and then you can go back to dating because you've been meaning to do this and it's like taking too much energy to just not do it anymore. You may as well just do it. Come up with a list for me in the chat box and tell me what you think, or your friend, like you think your friend really needs to stop dating and pull themselves together and get a new wardrobe. Somebody wrote, get in shape. Yep. So you can get in shape while you're dating somebody, or if you really just feel like a couch potato and you're not moving your body at all and you're just not motivated and like your energy is sapped, you got to get in shape. Get in shape because it gets your brain going and it gets you happy and it makes you feel a little better. So when you show up on the date, you show up like this instead of like, hi, how are you? No, I work from home. Yeah, I'm in front of a computer all day. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good, right? We don't want you to show up like that. You know, you came back, you went, you got exercise, you feel good. Pumping your blood pumps good endorphins in your brain. It makes people happier. It makes them more vibrant. It makes them come alive. I mean, think about it. When you move, right, it physically actually moves the blood in your body and it does things for you. So getting in shape is a great thing in terms of getting you moving and helping you to become more vibrant with people. So that's one. Let me see if I have anything else here. So we said moving to a new city, health issues, family. Ooh, family things. Some people just said in the chat also, getting a shot. So for COVID, some people are like, well, I can date you on Zoom, but I'm never meeting you in person until I get my shot. And so if that's on your to-do list and it's preventing you, then you want to make sure that you make that happen because Zoom dating can only last for so long. And then we really need to get you in person. I had a couple ask me, is it okay? Can we Zoom date for like 6 months? And then when everything works out, and I was like, no, don't do it. Because if you show up in person and you meet them and you're like, hi, I've been talking to you for 6 months, and you meet them and you're like, oh gosh, I don't like you. It's just like a thing. It's a gut reaction. And I just talked to you but I want to like you because I talked to you for 6 months, but I don't. It's really disappointing. So yes, we need to do everything that we need to do so we can meet people in person and we can get things moving. Okay, great. Sarah, do we have some questions that we can bring on about this? Because I know some people, I had somebody write in an events group that we put on WhatsApp. I don't remember the exact comment, but we put in there, quickest way to get married, stop dating. And they're like, oh yeah, I got to learn about this one. Like, sure, that sounds like a good plan. It was really cute. So Sarah, help us out here. Oh wait,
yeah,
pause. Wait, pause. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Makeup Goldie. Makeup Goldie is the Instagram handle, Makeup Goldie. She is amazing, inspiring thousands of people. It's not just that she does makeup, she has an energy about her that really elevates people, that inspires people, and that helps them. And we've been doing some Instagram lives together, and we've been inspiring her whole crew and our crew. And so we are so grateful. Thank you so much for being our sponsor. And for any of the ladies that are out there and you want to check out Makeup Goldie, great. And for any of the gentlemen that are out there, when you meet your lady, you can introduce her to Makeup Goldie because she really gives out a lot of fantastic advice, and she's available for hire for weddings and all sorts of good things.
Awesome. All right. So just because we were just talking about this, Aleeza, what is the time limit for Zoom dating?
So we don't have an exact time limit. We're a little bit in flux here. My preference is no longer than 3 weeks. The reality is it could be 6 weeks, which makes me a little uncomfortable. And longer than 6 weeks, I would caution you. I mean, it happens and it can happen, but you're putting a lot in, and I'm just saying the stakes are higher. It's like a little bit where you got a lot of chips on the table riding on this one hand, and you're like all in, and it's a little more difficult to run it when it takes longer. But we have seen couples who are different continents, and it's been taking them a long time to get together. So there's exceptions to the rule.
All right, thank you. Next question. Can you take a break by not actually searching, but still be open to like suggested dates? Like maybe that's a semi break?
Oh, okay, wait. We call this actively not dating. Okay. Actively not dating goes like this. I'm not dating and I'm not looking for anybody to be dating, but people are going to suggest people because, of course, I'm on a break. So you're going to like put people in front of me, like dangle the carrot. Hoo, 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 you want it. Right. And so what we do is when you are actively not dating, you can still, you don't check your dating apps because you're actively not dating. But if somebody sends you something to your email or your text and they're like, oh, I want you to meet somebody and let me tell you about them, and here's everything, and you're like, oh, I'm not dating, but you may review it because it came into your email or your text and it came right in front of your face. So you may review it if it is so enticing. Seriously, so enticing. You can think about dating them, but don't mess it up because you're too busy doing this other thing that you really need to accomplish. So I need you to think about if you need to really go for this other thing, or maybe put the other thing on pause and go for the dating. Or if you're going to do both, but consciously and very attentively. So that would be my advice.
Awesome. Thank you. How long, and I apologize if we discuss this, but how long is a dating break? Why that long? What's too long? Like, talk to us time.
There is no rule of thumb here. So it can be, I've seen people take weeks, I've seen people take months, and I've seen people take years. When I say years, 3, 5, 10. Different people do different things, and I don't know what you need. I recently spoke to somebody who had to sort out some issues, some things that they had been dealing with, some past traumas, and it just took much longer than they expected to deal with it. And had they not dealt with it, they wouldn't have been qualified to be in a relationship. So you need to take as long as you need. Basically, it goes like this. When you are like, okay, I'm done. Can I be done? I need to be done. I need to go back to dating. No, I want, no, should I take a break? Okay, maybe I'm okay on a break. No, I want to date, right? Like you should be starved from dating a little bit, so hungry for dating that you're ready for it and not like it's a chore anymore for you. There should be a little excitement about it.
Okay, so this is a perfect
example.
No, this is like a great comment for the next question, which is, what if you really don't date that much and don't need a break?
Then you shouldn't take one. If you don't date so much and you don't need a break, that's not why I'm saying to take a break. Right? The quickest way to get married is to stop dating. Why? Because there's something else that you have to do. It's not because you don't date a lot. So if it's because you, again, have health issues or moving or job or some sort of transition, or you, God forbid, lost a parent or a sibling or a friend, somebody beloved and close to you, and you need a little bit of time to mourn that loss, then that would be a great reason to stop dating or to take a break. So this is not about, I don't date so much, why should I stop dating? This is about, I might need time to process or do something else in my life, and let me do that first, and then I'll go back to dating.
Awesome. Someone commented, how funny, before I joined this webinar, I wrote on a dating app that I'm taking a break.
you. You've got backup and support. We're right here with you.
Awesome. Aleeza, wouldn't you say that COVID, or would you say that COVID has been a forced dating break for everybody?
It's been a pause, and some people have paused and pivoted. Okay. So they went like, COVID, no events, locked in my house. And then everybody was like, hey, online dating. There's video dating. There's all of these app dating things. There's all of these other places I can meet people. Okay, cool. I'm locked in my house anyway, and I don't have a job, and I have all the time in the world, right? So I can do this. So not everybody was forced into pausing or stopping dating, but I mean, people did mostly take a pause and go, what am I going to do? Some people have chosen to say, forget it, unless it's in person, I'm not interested. Some people have been on a break for a year. Other people have said, I'm going to try it. They've tried online dating groups. They've tried things like Filter Off, which is an app. Oh, by the way, we have a dating event next week, Wednesday, for 40s and 50s. Is that correct, Sarah? Go to marriagemindedmentor.com/events and check it out. We are running an event with Filter Off. They do speed dating on an app. We don't even run it. The whole system runs it. It matches you with the people that sign up based on all of your preferences. And some people are doing that. And so no, not everybody is on a forced dating break. And a lot of people have pivoted. And for the people that hated in-person events, this is like, yay, everything's online. And now all the people are online too. And everybody's really excited because more people are showing up online than normally would, because everybody else would go to an event, but now there are no events, or there are very limited events. And therefore people are choosing to do things online. So you're finding a lot more people, more newer faces, and it's just a little bit easier to navigate online.
Also, I feel like a lot of people like may have taken a dating break, a forced dating break because of COVID, but not necessarily actually an intentional dating break. And what you're talking about is much more of an intentional dating break.
Yeah. Yep, that's an amazing point. Right. This is I'm consciously stopping dating because I'm choosing it, not because the world had a pandemic.
Right. Okay. Does taking a dating break mean breaking off with someone you're already in touch with?
I mean, not unless you want to break up with them. Your dating break should start after you break up with them. Or, I mean, if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. If there's something there, you should pursue it. And if you're not sure what's there, when in doubt, go out, or date them till you hate them and keep it moving.
All right. That's fair. If you try to stop dating, how can something just fall in your lap if you're not putting in the effort to find someone?
Right. So there's this weird thing where the universe conspires against you to stop you from doing what you really want to do. And it says, oh, you're taking a break. And then, Aunt Susie's like, guess what? You should you can meet my neighbor. She's wonderful. And I got to know her over COVID, over the fence. And she's so cute. Right. And all of a sudden you're like, Aunt Susie, you never call me. Why would you
bought me my groceries every day?
Right. She went to the store for me, and she always brought me flowers on Shabbos, and she's such a love. I'd really love for you to meet her. Here's her number. And you're like, what? I didn't bring this on. So, right. Some people just pop into your world or pop into your face, or you meet somebody at work, somebody new on your virtual Zoom call because they're hiring people from all over, and wow, you guys just click and connect. I don't know. There's people that pop up even when you don't try. Not always, but sometimes. So it's just a caution to people not to let that derail you, and to have an awareness. But again, it's intentional. And if something really enticing comes up and you want to explore it, that's how you know that you're really interested in it, and that you'll probably be able to balance the two things, whatever it is that you're working on, and this person as well.
That makes sense. Someone is asking, is virtual dating enough of a dating break?
No, virtual dating is a lot of work. A lot of the singles tell me, they're like, I've gone to events, and there's 3 events this week and another 2 next week. And as many as there were in person that people could be running around to, now online, multiply it times 10. because every city's having different things and every group is having different things in all the different age groups. And
Right.
so we are seeing more and more events happening. So for example, we have this filter off event next week for 40s and 50s. Also on Tuesday, we have an event, although it's sold out, apologies, but it is for 24 to, I don't know, 35 or
That's
something.
already?
So done, gone,
Wow.
totally way
24 to
oversold.
37.
24 to 37. That's a different event. And on Valentine's Day, we are having 2 matchmaking events. One for 50 plus, because we have a 50 plus crowd. And I have to say, you're welcome, because you've been begging me and I get the emails over and over and over again. And you're like, please, please, please make an event for 50 plus. So we have a Valentine's Day event just for 50 plus. And then we also have a Valentine's Day event for 20s, 30s, and 40s. So we've now covered 20s through 40s and 50 plus. So everybody in the world should be happy right now, because we have 2 events that are happening, and that's on Valentine's Day. So there's just so many things that are happening. You just got to take a look and see. There's another dating app that I just saw a client sent me, and they were like, I don't know, 8 different events that they were having, all different ages, backgrounds, Russian, I forget what did they say? Russian, Israeli, something. They were like a whole bunch of different categories and all different age categories. So yeah, virtual dating is
So the
not
answer is no, it's not a dating break.
no.
All right.
Unless you're just not dating. I mean, but again, I like the conscious not dating versus the unconscious not dating. Like, oh, I mean, I'm not doing anything about it, as opposed, but it's on my mind. No. I'm stopping dating with intention, but it's also not because I'm stopping dating. Why are we stopping dating? Because there's something else I need to do that will get me to the chuppah faster. Because I have something on my to-do list that I haven't been doing, that I've been ignoring, that I need the time, effort, energy, and headspace to deal with. And I need to stop dating to go deal with this.
Awesome. If you have been on a dating break for a while, how do you notify people that you're off of the break?
Hey, God bless you, Sarah. Hey, dating break's over. If you have anybody in mind, let me know. Texting them, typing to them, just letting people know, oh, I was on a dating break. Actually, it was great. I enjoyed my last 2 months, but I'm jumping back into the dating scene. So if you meet anybody, keep me in mind. Something like that. Sweet, short, to the point.
All right, perfect. Someone is asking, Aleeza, what do you suggest one should do when taking a dating break?
Okay, so Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm getting the impression that people are thinking that the dating break is for the sake of taking a dating break, which was not the intention of the webinar. I don't mind to address taking a dating break just for the sake of it, but does that sound like that to you as well?
I think it's definitely the impression I had, like, coming into this webinar. I heard everything you said, which definitely gave me a different perspective. So it's possible some people popped in a little bit late. But I think if you can, since it's coming up, like, can you do a quick recap in terms of what you meant versus what people are asking about? And then if you're up to being put on the spot, like, can you address the second one as well?
Yeah. Okay. So the webinar is about the quickest way to get married is to stop dating and do this thing that you need to do. Medical thing, moving, new job, broken tooth, foot surgery. I don't know what's on your to-do list, but there's sometimes something in our to-do list that we really, really need to do. And like, if I have foot surgery, I can't go out on a date with you because I'm going to be hobbling and I'm not going to be walking, and I need a 6-week to 8-week recovery. And I should just stop dating and do this right now so that I'm not in pain while I'm walking, right? So those are the reasons to take a dating break, get those things out of the way, and then hyper focus on dating. What some people are asking right now is, oh, should I go on a dating break? A spontaneous one without any other reason behind it except like, hey, I think I should stop dating or I'm burnt out. That's a totally different category. If you're feeling burnt out, you should stop dating. If you're sick of dating, you should stop dating. If you are bored of the dating scene, you should stop dating. If you keep dating and you can't find anybody that you like and you're just disenchanted and not happy with the whole process, you should stop dating. Those are all great reasons to stop dating. Take a break. You could reset after a day or a week or a month or 2 months or 6 months. I don't know how long you need. You need to take the proper time until you're like, I want to date, I want to find my person, and I want to do it now. This is really important to me. I want to make this happen, and it's enough. I can't be on a dating break anymore. I have to find my person. So you need to build up so that you have that energy to do this again, to go through the process, because it takes an amount of energy, and I need you to be ready for it. It's like working out, right? If I work out today and tomorrow and the next day, and right, so eventually I might need a day of rest in between, because otherwise my muscles don't have enough time to recoup so that I could work out again. So if you need to recoup because it's too much, then great, go recoup, do what you need to do, and come back to dating, and come back with a fresh eye and a fresh open heart and an open mind to the process.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. I have a couple questions that are not super related to taking a dating break, but I think they're good questions. Can we go for those?
Yes, absolutely.
So this one actually really intrigues me, so I'm excited to hear what you're going to say. I'm in a committed relationship with my girlfriend. I quit the Facebook singles group that we met in, but she's still in it. I raised the issue and she says she gets entertainment from it and refuses to quit. Should I be worried?
A little bit. Yeah, I'd be worried. So there was a couple that I was working with, and they were dating for a little while, and the girl said to the guy, like, let's go on our phones and let's take off the app that we met on. Let's just delete it right now. Let's just get rid of it. And they both were like, okay, let's do it. And they deleted the app together. And it was like, okay, great. Like, we're consciously not looking outside of this relationship for somebody. So I'm not only concerned that maybe she could meet somebody else, I'm also concerned that maybe she's looking for somebody else. There's plenty of ways to get entertainment. And you don't have to be in a singles dating group to get entertainment. Although, yes, it could be totally entertaining because you guys are really funny and humorous and have a lot of insights and a little snarky sarcasm too. But there's lots of other Facebook groups that you could get tons of entertainment from. So I would be worried. It doesn't, wait, I don't want to ruin your relationship. I don't want you to go in there and be like, Aleeza said I should be worried. And what are you doing? I'm not saying she's thinking or doing anything. I'm more worried about, why is she not into this relationship enough to say, oh, well, wait, does that bother you that I'm staying in it? Like for her to say entertainment, then I would want you to say, oh, I'm a little disappointed because I guess I was hoping you could get your entertainment elsewhere so that we could be like a little more of a thing without looking elsewhere. Not that you're looking elsewhere, but just that you're not in those groups.
Yeah.
So I would encourage open communication where you inform the other person what you're thinking. You ask questions to get to know what they're thinking, not judgmental questions like, well, if you were really into me, then why wouldn't you leave that group? Don't do something like that. Say something just open, that I'm wondering if you would consider not being in that group and maybe choosing entertainment from a different group. I'd feel better about that. Would you be open to that? Right? And because I want to give us a chance, because I think there's really some nice potential here. That binds a couple together. It makes it so sweet. It's so yummy. It's so delicious. It's so delicious.
So delicious. What if, I think this is referring to online dating, what if the guys are players? They don't really want to get married and it's so annoying and tiring.
Yeah, so there's an amount of them. Out of 100% of guys, I don't think there's more than 10% that are like that. Now you're going to be like, oh, Lisa, no way. I think it's the reverse. I think 90% are like that. I don't really think so. I've met a lot of guys. I've spoken with a lot of guys. I've worked with a lot of guys. The guys that reach out to you, those might be the players or the ones that start doing all that nonsense. But a majority of the guys that I've met have been genuine, sincere, real. They want to meet somebody. Everybody's got their quirks, their own little thing. But I've met really very marriage-minded men. And if you're meeting those other people, I would just be like, delete, ignore, next. Move on. Do not let it get you down. It's a part of the process. It should be 10%. Look for the other 90%. They exist. They are there.
That's awesome. Thank you. I am a female in my late 20s, recently divorced. How long should I wait until I get back into dating?
Like, How long was your marriage? How traumatizing was your marriage? How healed are you from that? What questions do you have? What inner work have you done to prepare yourself so that next time around you'll have whatever tools that you need? You'll make a good decision about who to be with, how to solve problems when you encounter them. Have you worked on, communication skills? Not saying that you had them in your marriage, but every marriage has communication. Even people that stay married have communication challenges. So, what are the things that you've done to prepare yourself for the next part of your journey, and how have you healed so that we know that you're ready for that? And how long do people take? Some people take a few months, anywhere from 6 months plus. Some people do it in less amount of time. I'm a little more concerned when it's under 6 months, unless you had one foot out the door, I don't know, for the last 3 years, and then finally you got out. But I do like that people are healed and in a place where they've learned about themselves. I had one client and he was telling me, each month he would tell me like, wow, and I learned this month, and I realized that, and I had that aha moment the next month. And I was like, every month you're learning something new about yourself, about your previous relationship, about what you want in your future. And he's like, yeah, he's like, how is this going to happen forever? I said, well, it should slow down. The amount of insights that are coming should come, earlier on, and then later on they should slow down. And you should be at a place where you're feeling a little bit healthier and more ready to be with somebody.
Awesome. Thank you. So this comment in the chat, wins, just plain wins.
You've never said that before. That's really big, Sarah.
Wait till you hear why. If I get engaged, do I have to stop watching Aleeza's webinars? Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. Go get engaged. Well, are you going to be a dating coach? Because some of my best coaches are my previous clients, or people that have watched our things, because you know the method. You're like, I could just spit out, like, I think of a question. I'm like, what would Aleeza say? And then, and you know exactly what I'm going to say.
That's so
only if you're going to use it to help singles get married, then you can keep watching. And I'd recommend you do it with your spouse.
Yeah, that's someone responded, you get to watch them with your fiance.
Right, exactly. And then the two of you can go set up all your friends, and you can be amazing matchmakers.
Awesome. All right, next question. Should you take time to figure out what you want in life, etc., before you commit to a relationship or start dating seriously?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. So, but we're working on an app. Well, it's like a web app, and it's really big. It's actually huge. I've mentioned this on maybe one or two other webinars, but it is all about clarity, right? And part of clarity is knowing what you want. And then when you meet the person, knowing whether, how well those two things align, what I want and who you are, and seeing where those things come together or they're apart. So the app is called Illuminate, bring to light if this one's right. And our goal is to help you figure out who's the right person. But before you meet the person, you actually have to do this whole values exercise where you figure out what's important to you and what you're looking for and what you need and why you need it. And those things are really amazing. And then when you do all of those things, then we go out there and try to meet somebody, and then we match them up with our values. We see where there's a connection or a disconnection, and then we make the decision, dun, 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 do I want you or don't I want you? And so, yes, please figure that out beforehand. If you don't know how to do that, we have a whole team of coaches that do know how to do that, and we'd love to help you. So you could check us out.
I love that answer. I'm not totally sure it answered the question.
Okay, good. Sarah, tell me what I'm supposed to answer. What's the question again?
I don't know. I took the question a different way. I think it was more about what you want in life, like whether that's career or where you want to be living or where you're headed religiously. Like I took it to mean more like general life stuff.
I like that. Good. Well, let's answer that question. So if we're talking about where you're living or career or those things, you should be figuring those things out. But I've seen people wait, 50 years to get married, and because they were still working on their career. So it's not an acceptable thing to keep working on your career and not also work on dating. So you could do both of those together. But if we're talking about religiously, I don't know if I'm in this boat or this boat, if I'm a little more to the right or if I'm a little more to the left. So I need you to be grounded-ish. I need you to be a little bit grounded where I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know what I like. I might be a little bit more like this some days or some ways, and I might be a little bit more like this on other days. But in general, I know where I'm holding. There's a few missing pieces. And when I meet my person, I'm flexible. I've had people tell me, Aleeza, I could lean to the right or I could lean to the left. I could keep Shabbos if somebody wants to, and I could keep kosher. But if they don't want to, I'm cool with that too. That's also fine. So if you're a flexible human being and it doesn't bother you, then I'm okay with that. But I don't want you to be one of those human beings that's like, well, I mean, I don't want to do that, but I would if I had to. Don't do it. No, thank you. Don't do that, please. Because if you do that, then you just resent people for the rest of your life and then you stop doing it anyway. I have seen couples make deals, and I'm into like a little bit of making a deal. Like, let's make a deal. I'll do this for you and you do that for me. Not exactly like that, but there was one couple I know that they got married, and he said, you know, I keep kosher and I keep Shabbos, and like, if we're going to get married, you need to also. And she was like, all right, if that's the deal, like, I guess I'm in. Cool. Several kids later, they got divorced. And guess what? She doesn't keep kosher and he does. She doesn't keep Shabbos and he does. It wasn't really what she wanted. It wasn't really okay with her. She said yes and she got married, but, and I'm sure they had other relationship issues. They didn't get divorced over this, but it's very common where I did something for you. It wasn't really what I wanted. Now I don't like you. Now I don't want to do that thing I said I'd do for you. And it's not really great. So I would prefer that people figure out to a good enough degree where they can make it work.
Thanks.
What they want. Yeah.
I like that. Can you revisit a relationship that didn't work out in a healthy way in the past?
Yes. Sarah, there was this mystery in your history. Hello back there. Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, you. Yes. Please do that. Please, please, please. And relationships that even were challenged in the past. Maybe they're not going to be challenging now. Totally revisit. My favorite way of matchmaking, 35% of my people get married this way, is that we look back and we find somebody from their past. I don't even like looking in the future or into our current worlds until we look backwards and we knock everybody off the list that we ever dated, thought about dating, wanted to date, thought was cute, wished we could have asked out, right? Everybody on that list. I like to look through that first. Once we get through that, then we can move on and then we can, look for somebody else in the world. But yes, please go backwards. And if they say no, by the way, again, the second time, it's okay. In 3 to 6 months, if you're not married and if they're not married, ask again. Every 3 to 6 months, you could check in again. Seriously. I mean, don't be a nudnik and make sure they don't call the police on you. Do it respectfully in a normal, healthy way.
Awesome. I'm in my 40s, have been dating for years. Do you agree that I should only date divorcees and widowers? Divorcees?
Yeah.
I can never remember which one's which. Anyway, and widowers.
No, I mean, I don't, a lot of people date single, never married also, unless you don't want to. Some people say, well, it doesn't relate to me. And because I have certain experiences, it's harder. I'd rather have somebody who's matured in that way and has already experienced that. But no, you don't have to.
Okay, perfect. Next question. What's the best way to really know if you have a real connection with someone?
Hard one to answer. Some people talk about that feeling, that being a real connection. Although I like the feeling and the feeling feels good to people, it's not what I would call a real connection. A real connection is usually based on values, what I know about you and what I respect about you and what I like about you. And if our values are aligned, if what I want and what you want are in alignment and they're similar, then we have a real true connection. And if our values are not in alignment, then we don't necessarily have a real true connection. So I would really make sure it's values based and not butterflies based.
Okay. How can I stop being so angry about being single?
Yeah, that one's hard. My heart goes out to you. Go for a run. First of all, get out some of your anger, or do a whole bunch of push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups or something ups, just to get out some energy. I don't know if you'll like this answer. So for anybody who believes in either God or spiritual something. We have people from all different walks of life, secular, religious, everywhere in between. So I want to be respectful of everybody. But if you have this belief in a higher power, then I would tell you that everything that God does is for the good. Even COVID. I'm not going to say you can understand it. I'm not going to say it's going to make anybody happy. I'm not going to say too much more because it's really a very deep and extremely difficult concept to understand. But at the base level, everything that God does is for the good. That means if you are single now, you needed to be single now for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe what you needed to do at your job, you couldn't have done if you had a family. Maybe if you got married, God knew you were going to marry the wrong person and you were going to end up divorced in 2 years and then miserable and then single for another 10 years and then, and he's really sending your person later on this year. I don't know what would have been had you found whatever you thought you were looking for. But if God didn't send it, or if you didn't say yes already, or if it didn't happen, it wasn't supposed to be at that moment. It wasn't supposed to. If it was supposed to be, it would have been. And it's really a difficult pill to swallow, especially for people who've been looking for a really, really long time. It's very, very painful to hear. So I'm going to first say, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. And if it didn't happen, the world needed you to do something else, and the world did not need you to be married right now. And at the moment that God says, like, that's it, you can't take it, not another minute to be alone, he's going to send your person. I'm praying and hoping that it happens tomorrow. It should be that you never watch another webinar and we part ways right now and we say, adios, lehitraot, I love you, see you later, you found your person, bye-bye. And it's all good. But I don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be, and your person's here. And ready? You're ready. You're perfect. You're in the position. You're like, Aleeza, I did everything I'm supposed to do. Like, I know. There's nothing I need to do. I'm good. Guess what? You better start praying for your soulmate. Maybe they're in a tough position. Maybe they got COVID. Maybe they were on their way to meet you when, on the way, when I say on the way, like somehow in the works of the world to meet you, and they got COVID. Now they're recovering from COVID and they're going to come to you. Maybe they lost their job and now they're depressed and they have to pull themselves out of it, and then they're going to meet you. Maybe they had a family member who got sick and they have to take care of them and they're not dating right now, and then they're going to come meet you. So the best thing I could tell you to do is all of that energy that you have towards anger isn't actually going to get you anything except angry and probably frustrated and probably annoyed and probably much further from your soulmate. But the good news is you have a tremendous amount of energy and power right now. And we have when we have energy and power, we can take it and like this, punch, and you could like smash through the wall, or you could take that energy and power and you could build the wall and build a whole house and create something. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to channel your energy and channel your anger and channel it into, and you choose the option, praying for, not for you to have a soulmate, for your soulmate to find their soulmate. That's you. You should pray for them that they should find you. You should pray that you should always be healthy and well and in the right position to receive them. You should pray for every other single on this entire webinar and in this entire universe, that when you pray and you do things for other people, God rushes to help you. You have an amount of energy and you are spending it on anger. It is like taking $1 million and spending it on swampland in Florida. And now you're just left with swamp and flies. No, buy your $1 million house, invite people over, feed the hungry, do something with it. You have something very precious, energy. You have something that you need to get it out, but help the world, elevate the world, and elevate yourself along with it. And I'm so sorry if it's not the answer you want, because it's really, 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 really difficult, really difficult. And I pray, just so you know, I pray for my singles, whether I know you by name or I just know you by energy, that you're a part of my crew. Anybody who comes to see anything, I have my prayers out there for everybody to find their soulmate all the time. It's what I live and breathe. You can ask my husband, he's like, can we not talk about business? And I'm like, no, never.
That's really cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's say I have a real connection with another person, and every few months we do come back together, but he's scared to commit. He told me I will either be, like, this is what he said, I will either be the groom to your wedding or a guest to my wedding. And this really confused me.
I'll be a groom to your wedding, or you'll be a guest to my wedding,
or a guest,
or he'll.
I think he's saying like he'll be either he'll marry you, either he'll marry me, or I'm going to marry someone that I don't want to be marrying.
I say a groom to.
I will either be the groom at your wedding or a guest at my wedding.
Okay, the second part confused me.
Okay.
So wait, I'm fine with anything. Then you should just say, great, I picked choice A, groom to my wedding. How about if we get married in June? That's it. Like, that's just, it's good. I'm good with that. That works for me. Obviously, a little playful. Obviously, there's something. It could.
Remember that time you told me that you'll either be a groom to my wedding or a guest at yours? Let's go with this option.
Yeah, and I would go back and I'd be like, I'm choosing groom at my wedding, and I am gonna pick out my dress in about 3 weeks, and you're gonna buy me a ring, and we're gonna go for it in, like, before September. It's gonna work. Like, we work, you work. I tell them everything you like. I like this about you and this, and I know you like this about me, and I know we do a lot of unifying statements. We work like this together, and we're good like this, and we and after hearing 20 things about how amazing we are together, he's gonna be like, wow, I should be a groom at your wedding. That sounds like a good plan, right? You have to just show somebody what you really have. And people get scared, and so they don't move ahead, and they don't have motivation, and people kind of like they get analysis paralysis, and they get like frozen like a deer in headlights, and they're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I could show up, I guess, maybe. And some people say, but I don't want to force anybody to marry me. No, you're not forcing anybody to marry you. You are making a lovely case / information, sharing information about why this works. And it's so important that we share that information. People really need to know that. They need to know. They don't always get it. They don't always remember all those details at once. So try it. And then when you get engaged, email me, coach@marriagemindedmentor.com.
Awesome. All right. So we have
wait. And if he has any questions, call us. We'll explain the whole system to him.
Yeah, by the way, I was gonna preface the question with, this really sounds like such a great coaching question, because it sounds like there's really something very valuable there, and there is a connection, and there's something that's like scaring him from actually making that commitment. So that's where Aleeza comes in, or one of the coaches.
The whole team.
What?
Yeah, my whole team.
Yeah. All right. What are your?
Is that you dinging?
Yeah, I don't know how to turn it off, but you keep sending me messages.
No, I'm not sending you anything. My computer's over here. There is a sound button on WhatsApp, or you just hit mute on the computer. Or is it going to mute your whole computer?
If I hit mute on the computer, then I can't hear you.
Oh, then you just have to go to the sound thing on WhatsApp. You can do it when I answer the next question.
That's what I keep trying to do. I don't know where it is. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute.
Settings, notifications. There you go.
Thank you. I will. I'm like, should I close it? What if she needs to say something? Okay. Should I continue dating someone who doesn't have room in their schedule during the week because of nightly work commitments? I'm concerned that if we someday get married, they won't have time to be fully present in the marriage.
Say the first part of the question again.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hold on, I just have to find it again.
That's fine.
Should I continue dating someone who doesn't have room in their schedule during the week because of nightly work commitments?
So I would just ask them, like, is this your normal schedule? So just for example, some of my nurses and doctors, they work night shifts. So they work 2 or 3 nights or 3 or 4 nights in a row, and they sleep all day, and then they have the weekends, and that's when they recover and they spend time with family and friends. And so they are never available, and they live with schedules like that for years, like years. So if you don't like that schedule and that's their lifestyle, then you're correct. They will not have time for you during those hours. But plenty of people live with doctors and nurses and other people who have nightly schedules. So as long as you're okay with that, we're okay. But it sounds like you're not okay with that. So I also would go back to informing the other person, like, I would love to spend more time with you. Can you tell me a little bit more about your schedule? And does it ever change? And, long term, I'm not sure if that's something that would work for me. How do you see this working in a relationship? How would this work for us, if we were together and, had a family, and what would that look like? I mean, I don't know how far along you are in the relationship. I don't know if you can ask that, but it's okay to start opening the conversation so that you can connect and see where you have things in common and where your differences are and where you have to adjust the schedule, or if you need to dump him or her and move on.
And I also just want to add, I might have missed this one sentence, but it's different when you're dating than when you're in a relationship. So like,
yes, it's worse when you're in a relationship. The best that you're going to get from them is in dating.
Times. What?
The best schedule that you're going to get from them most likely is in dating. It usually gets worse after marriage, not better. Sorry.
Funny because I work nights a lot, right? So when we were dating, it's hard, like, because we're limited on time, because my schedule is like this and his schedule is like this, how do we carve out the time? We're like finding random pockets of time. It's hard. When we're living together, like, yeah, we have different schedules, but we're still together much more than we were when we were dating because we're living together. So I hear what you're saying.
It's only if you have similar schedules, or you both have mornings off, or anybody who leaves 6 o'clock in the morning and doesn't get back until 6 o'clock at night, and then the other person leaves 6 o'clock at night and doesn't get back till 6 o'clock in the morning, won't ever see that person. Like your husband, like true. Neither of you guys are doctors or nurses and have that kind of
100%. But I mean, like again, obviously it doesn't work for everyone. I know people it works for, right? But I think I don't know. So maybe this is like what I was getting at, but when you're dating, there's less of a commitment when you're dating than when you're married. And I think that like someone making the effort to find the time, I don't know, maybe
again, they're more likely to find that time in dating. Like you said, like, oh, they should be finding the time. This person's saying they're not even finding the time now in dating, and I'm worried about marriage. And I'm going, yeah. If they're not making or finding the time in dating, I'm doubly worried about that in marriage, for sure. Definitely. And I think your point is right, Sarah. You did work nights, and then wow, during dating, well, maybe you didn't work as many nights because you needed to be dating, and you made time for that.
Right.
But still, my point stands that you.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay. All right. At what point we have like 3 minutes, and all of a sudden a bunch of questions came in. So, so first of all, someone just had a quick follow-up question. Should I avoid getting too closely involved with someone if they have that kind of schedule?
Again, can you handle it? Like, some people are fine and they're like, sure, but it sounds like if you're asking the question, it probably irritates you. So if it irritates you, then maybe you shouldn't. Right. Maybe you should pick somebody that has a schedule that you're okay with. No right or wrong answer. Just a matter of listen, I had a rule. When I was dating and people really got mad at me, I was like, I'm not looking to date a doctor or a lawyer. No, thank you. And people were like, what? And I was like, doctors, never around. Everybody else is a priority, yada, yada, yada. I'm not interested. Lawyers, they just argue with you too much. And I'm already playful and have, could have an argumentative side that I curb. And I don't need a partner who's digging in. They're like, but they're lovely people. I'm like, they are. But not for me. It's not the right fit for me. So you could say this kind of a schedule is not the right fit for me. It might be appropriate to say that if that's going to really bother you. Other people are like, I don't care. I like my space. Good that I only see you 3 days a week.
Right. Awesome. At what point should depression be a reason to stop dating?
It's a good question. A lot of people live with depression and struggle with depression. I think if you're not able to handle it, there starts to be a little routine with people. You notice what happens, you notice their triggers, you know when they're up, you know when they're down. And if you're feeling like, I don't think I can handle this, this is too much, their moods, or it's bringing me down, or if it's just too much for you to handle, then don't do it. But if you're a therapist by day and you have a person that struggles with this, you might be somebody who goes, you know what you're going through. I see this all the time. I'm here for you, whatever you need. And it might not hit them in the same way. So again, if you're not a person who can handle it, then say, no, thank you. It's not something that I can take on. If you are somebody who either can handle it because my sister was depressed, or my family member, close best friend was depressed, and I know how it is, right? If you're somebody who knows how it is and is open to handling it, then you could have a partner like that. And a lot of people marry people that have depression, anxiety, all sorts of forms, mild or moderate or severe, of a lot of different things.
All right. I previously dated someone virtually, and we had to put the relationship to the side because it was unsafe for both of us to fly to see each other. What are your thoughts on buying a ticket now for the summer, assuming we will see each other, even though it's not certain if one of us will be busy or not?
Don't buy a ticket. You don't need to buy a ticket. First of all, tickets are cheap. Second of all, even if tickets aren't cheap, they may or may not refund you, and who knows what's going on with airlines. Do not buy a ticket. Don't buy a ticket. When
Yeah.
you 2 weeks before you want to go, buy a ticket.
And everyone's having sales all the time, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
And even if they're not, I'd rather you pay $100 more. And we're not putting our eggs in this basket. That's like we've got a lot of months to go, and there's a lot of twists and turns that are coming in
Yeah.
down this 2021 road.
Yeah. Just a quick follow-up on the last question. What about someone who likes someone who has depression? Like they're not struggling with depression, but they're wanting to go out with someone.
There's a lot of people available to you. Very good news.
Yeah.
Lots of options.
I'm not sure what the question was, but the answer is you can go out with them. Like,
Yeah,
if they're
for
in a position
sure.
where they're able to date and, in a healthy way with the right support, go for it.
Yeah.
What if I feel like there's a blockage to finding my bashert because I keep going out and it's not happening?
Oh, you just
I'm not smiling at this situation. I'm just smiling at master your dating mindset.
Okay, so we're running a course, and it's a 6-week course, and we're at the middle to the end of the second week. It's going to end on the second week will end on Sunday, and we'll start the third week. If you really, really, really wanted to catch up and sign up, it's not too much to do. And we did have somebody sign on this week, so you could. We really focus on that. So it is all about your mindset. We need to really clear things out. We need to, yeah, master your dating mindset is the answer. What else can we tell them, Sarah?
I
So
would
yeah.
well, hold on. What was the question?
Sorry.
What was the question? I feel like there's a blockage to finding my bashert because I keep going out and it's not happening. If you already feel like there's a blockage, then there probably is. So what you need to do is figure out what's that block. It's taking the time to sit with yourself, figure out like, what are you telling yourself about dating? What's not working for you? What are your limiting beliefs that you think might be holding you back is step one. And then step two is working through that so that you could rewrite those stories and that those beliefs are not holding you back moving forward. But if you're, it sounds like if you're asking the question, then there's probably something there. And then, but the good news is that you know that. So that's like huge. And then you can just take the time to figure it out.
Correct. If you want to know anything about Master Your Dating Mindset, go to marriagemindedmentor.com/events. And is it still up, or did you take it down?
I actually just took off the sign up. I just moved it down to past events. But I can throw it back.
You can email us at coach@marriagemindedmentor.com.
Last one for now. Last one for today. So as a single woman, I think this is going back to before, as a single woman in my 40s, do you really believe there are normal from single men out there?
Yes. I'm not even going to give you another answer. Yes.
Great. And okay, one more just came in. What do you do if a virtual date seems to drift when you said you're open to in-person dating after vaccination, but they're probably afraid because the vaccination timeline is uncertain?
Right. So it might be good to just put it on pause and say, let's revisit in a month. Let's revisit and then a month later, let's reevaluate in another month, and just take it month by month, because things change so rapidly in this world that we don't know. And everybody has a different COVID level of comfort, COVID comfort. So I would say just take it month by month.
All right, awesome. Aleeza, tell us a little bit more about how people can work with you. If you can remind us what the different events going on are. Someone's asking specifically about an event for 30s, but I couldn't find that one. So, well, there's the one that's sold out, and then there's the one that's for 20s, 30s, and 40s, which is all backgrounds on filter off. Is there anything else I'm missing?
No. 40s and 50s on filter off, and the Valentine's Day one. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is what I meant.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm sorry. Question is, you can't confuse me. I can't say too many
The
things at
question is,
once.
tell us about the events and tell us how
Okay. So events. If you go to marriagemindedmentor.com/events, you will find out whatever we are running. So next week there are 2 events. One is sold out, the other, which is not relevant, but you might still see the flyer there. The other one is run by Filter Off. It is an amazingly cute pink flyer, and it's for 40s and 50s. And we're doing that because so many people said, please, please, please do 40s and 50s. So you're going to see that it's there, and we'd love for you to sign up. It's like speed dating, that one. And there's no schmoozing with me, and there's no workshop. There's no nothing. There is just dating other people for a few minutes at a time, and flip, meet somebody new. The last event that we did, we had, I think maybe at least 39 matches, which means 39 couples agreed to meet each other again and get to know each other. So that was phenomenal. And we also have an event coming up on Valentine's Day, 2 of them, one for 50s plus. You're welcome, because we did it for you guys. 50s plus, please, please, please join us. You will find that. Is it on our site yet, Sarah? I hope it is. And also the Valentine's Day one, which is a magical Valentine's Day for 20s, 30s, and 40s. We're going to have a little bit of a magic show, breakout rooms, singles, mingling, music, and fun. The last time there was even like a mini dance party. It was kind of cute virtually. Everybody was like, with little music behind. It was adorable. And if you are, in addition to events, thinking like, oh, I maybe have some questions and this webinar didn't answer it. I need more answers. We would really love to work with you. My team is available, and we offer complimentary coaching sessions. So you're on the computer or phone, you're watching this now, go to marriagemindedmentor.com and check out our complimentary introductory session, which it's not a session, it's just a 15 minutes, get to know you, interview us. I have a whole team of coaches. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't know which coach is right for me, sign up with me for 15 minutes so that I can get to know you. Or pick any of the coaches, and we can tell you about each other, and we can give you introductions, and we would really, really love to support you. Coaching fees range anywhere between $75 to $250, depending on the coach that you work with. And then we also have what we call under the Chuppah packages, which is either a coaching package or a coaching and matchmaking package. Yes, that is right. So many of you nudged us and said, you should really offer matchmaking. And I said, no, we don't. We only offer coaching. But now we do. We also offer matchmaking. So if it's something that you're interested in, we have very light versions of matchmaking programs, medium versions, and VIP versions of matchmaking programs, along with coaching and support, so that you can get over your hurdles and under the chuppah, because there is nothing better than knowing that you guys get married. It makes me super happy. People are like, it's so difficult to reach people because they just get married and then you have to go find new clients. And I was like, yeah, exactly. It's the best. I love it. It makes me so happy. So I'm really, really excited for all of that. And we love the work that we do. We've gotten hundreds of thank you emails saying, I met my person, I'm getting married. I never thought it was going to happen. It actually did happen. And, P.S., thank you so much for all of your support. So we would love it if you would be the next one, please. The next one's you and 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 all of you, and all of the people that you know also, and all of the singles of the world. It would be great if we could just match everybody up. And thank you again to Makeup Goldie. So we love you so much. You should check out Makeup Goldie on Instagram and follow her, because she's got lots of great stuff to share. Tips and tools and wisdom. She is full of wisdom. Okay, Sarah, anything else? Did we forget anything? No? We will have other, I will tell you, we will, like a little sneak peek, we will have other courses coming up this year. I am plotting and planning our next course, which, okay, so I'm moving to Israel in 3.5 weeks, really-ish. It's 3.5. Say 4, it feels better. Maybe, as long as they open the airports. So as long as the airports are open, we're moving to Israel in 4 weeks. So I don't believe we're going to launch something, because I thought about maybe launching before, but like after Purim, before Passover, while we're in transition with Aliyah, but I think that's not super smart. So Sarah and she talked a little sense into me, and we are going to launch it after Pesach, which you'll be engaged by then or dating somebody seriously. So you won't need this, but you will pass this information on to your friends. that we will be running. I think we're going to run a dating boot camp, like a serious dating boot camp.
Ooh.
Did you get my text message about that, Sarah? We were going to call it something else, but we're not. I think we're going to call it a dating boot camp. I'm really excited.
Sounds
So anyway, that's the sneak peek. It's coming in April. I mean, don't tell everybody. All right.
know if you're still going to be doing these virtual events and I guess webinars after you make
Yes. Yes, we're so totally doing virtual events and webinars. We are going to be moving to Sundays, and I'm not sure the exact time. I can work in Israel anytime between 8 p.m. and midnight. So that leaves us somewhere Eastern 1 p.m. to about 5 p.m. And Pacific, 10 till 1, something like that. So somewhere on Sunday afternoon, if you can't make it live, you can always catch the replay. Yeah, we love the webinars. We've gotten amazing feedback, and people are like, please don't stop. And so far, we keep having ideas. We keep having the flyers. Sarah makes the best. Sarah, everybody, could you please tell Sarah how amazing she is? She makes the best flyers. We do it together. I mean, she does it, but then like we tweak it together. They've come together so nicely. So we've got to keep doing the webinars because people love them, and the flyers are amazing. Oh, and somebody's commenting on their Chuppah timeline to be engaged. Yeah, you're getting engaged, so you won't have to watch these webinars. It's all good. I don't take it personally. I mean, I do take it personally. It makes me so happy. All right. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. All
We'll
right.
see you all next week.
Bye.
Good night.